Hey people, it's that time again where we talk about Herman Smith, a man that believes that an established franchise can beat a new IP. Some would be not surprised, but as a longtime Souls player, I will have Herman Smith know. He should get good. To see a new IP like Elden Ring do what it did by selling, roughly 19 million copies, is genuinely an impressive feat. Only with a reputation of FromSoft were they able to pull that off. And that is something that people will look back on with genuine interest for their next IP or their next installment to any of their franchises. Example, Armored Core. Without further ado, let's go take a look at Herman Smith's new video and how much dementia or schizophrenia he can give me. Maybe I lied to you. Maybe he will just give me stage 4 leukemia.
Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cool and Beautiful Rabbit Hole Lore and Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon.
Oh shit, we're already doing confession again? Well, what can I confess about? Honestly, there's not much, I'm really toxic when I play For Honor, I don't know. I say a lot of racist and homophobic things, I don't fucking know. Can say right now if you want. Honestly, For Honor changes people. I should make this a running gag every time he self-promotes.
So, Nintendo has released their financial reports today, and I had a good look-see at, some of the titles sold. I actually have quite a bit to say about a lot of this. This is really interesting stuff, but the one thing that really stuck out to me, and the one thing I really, really wanted to drive home immediately, is that my prediction 100% came true. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet quite handedly outsold Elden Ring. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold 20 million units, Elden Ring has only sold 18 million.
Harmon, are you fucking high? Pokemon is an existing franchise and an existing IP. Of course it's going to outsell. Elden Ring was incredible for what it did as a new IP. If it's selling nearly as much as Pokemon, that should say something. Plus, I heard those Pokemon games were shit, so, elbows or L+ ratio, winning, get fucked. Harmon, it should really say something when a game that is renowned, and a company that is renowned for making hard games, sells nearly as much copies as a game that can be more enjoyed by a larger audience. That should say something. People want a game that doesn't release like shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, From Software games do have problems on launch.
After an 8-month head start, Scarlet and Violet didn't come out until November. So, in short, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, was a better selling game. It sold faster. It was a much bigger release than Elden Ring. And the reason I bring this up, the reason I was so angry at Elden Ring, and one of the reasons I made a name for myself, kind of condemning what Elden Ring fans were saying about this release, there was a really big push among the community to present Elden Ring as the best-selling new IP of all time.
Well, no shit, Harmon. It's gonna be one of the best-selling games of all time, especially as a new IP. That is impressive. They didn't even expect it to sell that well. That should say something. When a larger audience comes in that has never touched a Souls game and they enjoy it, that is a good thing. More players are better. It doesn't matter how long it is, I don't know why we're comparing games. I mean, you could argue the fact that, yes, it sold faster in a much shorter time, but that does not mean it's a better product. We've seen that. Both have their problems. But this Pokemon game, I don't really know. I don't play Pokemon, nor do I care about them. It has a lot of problems from shit I've seen in the gameplay. It was rushed out.
The best-selling game of the year, even though it came out in March. And I think, what was the third one? Best-selling game, one of the best-selling games ever made, right? There was a very big, coordinated, agenda from, these big, Elden Ring fanboy channels to, paint this as, one of the biggest success stories in gaming.
That's because it is, Harmon. There's no need for me to repeat myself. The reason why they talk about it, and you call them fanboys, is because that's all they talk about. Their channels are probably built around the game. Mine was going to be. Hopefully. Maybe one day. Also, what does It coming out in March have to do with this? I don't think that would have to do anything. It still came out this year. Well, last year now. Fuck, I've really lost track of time. Honestly, feels like it came out yesterday.
The game that, made Nintendo tremble and delay, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. This was supposed to be the biggest release ever. And
I don't think that's why they delayed it. The game probably wasn't polished enough. If anything, to go off that new Pokemon game definitely wasn't.
flash in the pan success. Sword and Shield sold 25 million units. Scarlet and Violet sold 20. Legends Arceus sold like 15. I think Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, the remakes, I think that outsold Elden Ring too. I'll have to check it. I'll have to look at that. The reality is there are so many bigger Nintendo franchises than
I wonder why, Harmon. It's not like Nintendo's been around for a fucking millennia. They've been doing shit longer than FromSoft. No fucking shit.
than Souls, honestly. Elden Ring only did as well as it did because of the open world thing, the hype from fanboys, and maybe the involvement of George R. R. Martin.
If there are two things I can agree on, it's the hype and George Big Boy Martin. Not like the company that makes the game has a track record for releasing good games.
That's it. Most people, I think, kind of tuned out of Elden Ring pretty quickly after it came out. It's not all that good of a game. I have no interest in checking it out. I have
You were definitely on something, mate, and I can guarantee you it is not very good for you. Because I can assure you two things about a FromSoft game. It's got lore, and it's extremely replayable. Can you see why what you just said is fucking stupid? Guess what? People are still making content on the game. Why do you think the word replayable fits with almost every FromSoft game?
No expectations for it that it will be particularly well remembered. We're in 2023 now, and once it got its Game of the Year award, it stopped being talked about. It is this year's It Takes Two.
Bruh. You cannot be serious. No way you can be that far up your own ass to say something like that. I swear, people could just strap me down to a chair and make me watch your content. I would rather die than do any more of this.
The game just cannot compete with superior franchises like Pokemon, at 20 million units sold, like Super Mario Odyssey at 25 million units sold, like Animal Crossing New Horizons at 40 million units sold, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 50 million units sold.
Please, just kill me. I can't even bother making any more of this video. This is too painful. Why do you put me through this? I enjoyed making the last video on you. I thought it was pretty well done. But this just hurts me. Why do I have to listen to you? Why do you do this?
These games are going to keep selling for years, whilst Elden Ring is kind of relegated to only selling when it hits $10 on Steam or whatever.
Damn, really does sound like those new Pokemon games.
Which the company will then use to inflate their sales numbers. Again, it's interesting to see this because I knew it would happen. I told people it would happen, and no one believed me. I was laughed at. There were so many salty Elden Ring fanboys making these weird commentary videos about how I didn't appreciate Elden Ring and how I was a casual.
It's because you're a casual. Ugh, fuck. I'm gonna go kill myself. I swear, you seriously hurt me. I'm gonna take a break from covering you. There is no way I can do you a third time. You really take the cake for some of the most L opinions I've ever seen. I thought Salt King or King Thrash were bad. Well, I'm just gonna leave it here before I have a mental breakdown or my brain has a fucking aneurysm. So, I'll see you later. Join my Discord, like and subscribe. Bye bye.